Suited.
And then you put words to it. It goes, when you know.
Keep going.
Come on.
Come on, keep going, Bree. You were doing so good.
When
Do this, just do the beginning
you
part.
know the notes to sing, you can sing most anything.
That's nice. See,
I like that song.
That's a good voice. That's a good. It's very angelic. It's very,
Good
it's
job.
very soothing. I like that. That's nice. Do the so part again. The extended scales.
Oh, the part from the song?
Yes.
So do la fa mi do re. So do la ti do re do.
Do it again.
It's kind of pretty. It's kind of pretty. It's kind of pretty. Like it makes absolutely zero sense. When I want you, Bree, when I die, and you do my eulogy, I want you to sing that, and people are gonna be like, "What is that?"
People are gonna be like,
He could have went out with White Snake, Here I Go Again, or Def Leppard, Put Some Sugar on Me. He went out with
But he
this
chose-
horse shit.
he chose the Sound of Music.
This is the outro of your life. Like this is all that you got. Yeah. Anyway, so
And congrats, Brie. You got your first gig. There you go.
Oh,
Nice.
First and last. I love it. All in one. Good deal.
It's on the retainer, right? No?
Yeah, it's of course. Everything is on the retainer. It's the house.
Oh.
The house is the retainer. Yes.
Retainer.
All right. So, how's everybody doing? Top of the morning, evening, afternoon, and good night to one and all. It is, what are we on? After party 17. I think we're on like 25. It's just like lost track after I think 12, and then I've just numbered it accordingly to what I think we're on. Anybody doesn't know the show, basically what we do is say what?
We've removed a couple, maybe.
Yeah, well. Those are by proxy, sometimes you got to catch them on the live because some shit's probably going to be said that's going to offend somebody. And with that being said, it's probably best that you just take the video down. Right. Okay, so what is the topic for today? What do we got?
Yeah.
Okay, that was it, folks. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you all. See you next week.
Go ahead, Bray.
So what? Oh, so living in America, I have discovered that I cannot get my news here. Because if I get my news here, it is heavily swayed or heavily edited, and it's just a whole bunch of nonsense, and I'm not paying for Fox. Like, I love them, but I'm not giving them money to tell me things I could discover on my own. So I found this YouTube channel that reports for Australia, and they are a no holes barred type of scenario. They will attack both sides. They will tell you what's going on and how it really is, and I like that. And she's also funny, and she's kind of pretty. She makes me smile.
So I think I put Brie onto this a while back.
Yes.
Let's before we dig into this, right? Because we all love this show. I think everybody does. Before we dig into this, I want to talk a little bit about the character. Not ad hominem, but just trying to figure out what you can come up with, what I come up with. Now, when I look at this individual, I do think she's pretty. Not this particular face, but I do think she's pretty because she, to me, reminds me of a cross between somebody that is Middle Eastern, Arabic of sorts, and Indian, like Asian. So maybe Kuwaiti and Pakistani maybe or Indian?
Oh yeah, I thought she was like Pakistani or something.
Indian and Caucasian?
Really? You think white?
Yeah.
I see
Indian and
absolutely
Caucasian.
zero Caucasian features on this woman.
No. Black hair, dark eyes, nose, eyebrows, complexion.
Jordan wants a girl with dark hair, black eyes, funny nose, red shirt.
Cool accent.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what she is. I don't know. But she does make the things she does with her hands are kind of cute. How she's good. All right, so we're gonna watch this because you want to do reactions, of course, to Lefty's losing it because it's always a good show. Because we have no other content. Oh, her name is Rita. There you go, Panahai. So give that a quick Google. And what is that last name? Well, she might be married. I guess you could kind of gauge by what she is married to. Nothing? What do you got?
Arkansas, United States. The child of Iranian parents. There you go.
There's your Middle Eastern. Okay, but that middle, I told you, I know my regions. Okay, but there's something else. There's something else because that forehead is not that of an Iranian. Iranian typically have small foreheads. They have smaller heads. That she got some other shit. Or she just, what's the guy's name? Dumbledore? Jigglypuff?
Yes.
What's the
Dumbledore Jigglypuff is his name.
Okay, that's from what?
And he's
Harry
a wizard.
And the Rings? That's Harry and the Rings, right?
Harry
and the
and
Ring.
the
In
yes.
space.
Harry and the Ring. Oh, Harry and the Ring went to Space Odyssey, right?
Yes.
Okay.
2001.
Yeah, Dumbledore, Jigglypuff, they have big heads, and I think that's what she might have part of. All right, let's get it. Let's see what we got.
You're watching the Rita Panny Show, and now it's time for Lefty's.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Did you say Arkansas, United States?
Yeah.
No, Rita Panny show.
Yes.
Yeah, but she was born in Arkansas, United States. And both her parents are Iranian.
Yeah, I mean, wow. So she's dual citizenship then. She's American and Australian. Okay, all right.
Losing it. Let's start, Lefties, with this almighty group meltdown on CNN because Nancy Mace allegedly mispronounced Queen Kamala's name. Watch this demented carry-on.
See, look at that tiny little hand. You know what they were looking like? Really?
Right?
That's what I mean.
The smaller the hands, the better.
Pronounced
Okay.
Queen Kamala's name.
Focus.
Watch this demented carry-on.
And right. Kamala Harris, if
Kamala.
you
said this
we're not calling you Nancy.
It's Kamala. You're doing this on purpose, Congresswoman.
That's
disrespectful.
If,
you can't expect people to
if
respect
a
your
man
service
put on
if you
a
don't
skirt and
respect
walked
hers.
that stage 25 years ago, she
You're a
would have
white
said
woman
it. She would have
disrespecting a
taken
black
that
woman. That is
achievement away.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brainwashed people.
From women.
Professor
That's
Dyson,
let me get in here because
That's-
I want to.
Did you hear that? He said you're a white woman disrespecting
Yeah, I
a
picked that up
black
too.
woman. Why? By calling her the name everyone has called her for years, decades.
Does anybody anybody know how you say her name? Isn't it Kamala?
Yeah? I
Yeah,
was
they
under
just
the
changed
assumption.
it recently.
So what is it, Kamala?
Yeah, that's what they want her to be called now. I think it's because everyone knows
Hold on.
like that they don't like Kamala, but Kamala? Is that a
Watch
different
this
person?
demented carry-on.
And Kamala Harris,
Okay, so she said it the same way I do. Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
Oh, Kamala. Kamala.
Okay, it's been that way for years and nobody has ever corrected anyone on the news anywhere.
Kamala?
But Kamala, wouldn't that need 2 M's?
Yes, Kamala. No. There would be
Wouldn't
no
it
H.
have a dash in the middle?
There would be no H in there then. Kamala. There'd be no H. Kamala. Wait, how was I saying it? Kamala.
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 No, that's
Kamala?
the correct way. Is the
Kamala.
way you guys
Yeah,
are saying it.
No,
I'm-
Kamala is the wrong way. Kamala
Yeah.
is the right way.
No, he's saying it. Kamala. It's Kamala. Listen.
Harris, if I were a man,
Kamala. That's the correct way to say it. She's saying it the way I say it.
Announced Queen Kamala's name. Watch this demented
See, because she just said Kamala.
Yeah.
carry on.
and Kamala Harris.
See, Kamala Harris. That's how I say it. Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
That's not the correct way. Listen to what they say.
If I were a man,
Kamala. Kamala.
Sounds like
Sounds
Kamala.
worse.
Yeah, that sounds worse. I like Kamala Harris better than Kamala. Look, if we can't say your first name as a president, it's probably not good, right? Like if okay,
Go with Candy. Candy
just
Harris.
go with Harris. Just go with the last name.
Yeah.
Can't mess that one up.
You said
I
this
will
before,
say
you Nancy
anything that I
Nancy.
want.
It's
Come on,
Kamala.
it's
You're
Kamala.
doing this on purpose,
I am
Congresswoman.
not.
Disrespectful.
You can't expect people to
If
respect
a
your
man put
service
on
if
a
you don't
skirt and
respect
walked
hers.
that stage 25 years ago, she
You're a
would have
white
said
woman
it. She would have
disrespecting a
taken
black
that
woman. That is
achievement away from
problematic.
women.
You're a white woman disrespecting her heritage. Is that what he said?
A black woman.
A black woman's
He's making it a race thing.
okay, of course.
That's
Let me get in
disgusting.
here because I want to.
Did you hear that? He said, you're a white woman disrespecting a black woman. Why? By calling her the name everyone has called her for years, decades. How long was she in public life before we were told that her name should be pronounced differently? And can someone alert the president? Because he's still pronouncing it this way.
And Kamala are here today to make a make.
That's even worse.
He said Kamala. That's
Kamala.
There's an E in there somewhere.
Your announcement of reference to lower.
But back to the mass meltdown on CNN. Look at the reprehensible way they treat a lone conservative woman, a woman who carries the trauma of being a rape victim and who showed far more grace than I'd be capable of facing this barrage of lunacy.
When you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
Oh, so now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said.
Jesus Christ.
Everything does not have to be about race. It is the pronunciation of a name. Every time that someone reads Jay's last name, it is wrong. He doesn't
every
call
time
them
people
racist.
say my first name, it is wrong. They call me Hi.
Yes.
They call me Hi, and I'm just like Hi. I got used to it. It's just whatever. Hi.
Yeah.
Is that how you say your name? No. But if you want to say hi, that's fine. So, oh God, this is race now. It's race. Okay. Look, you've seen comedians talk about this, right? Where black people have crazy names like Quantum Malena or Quan Leone, and they have like numbers in it. Did you guys see that one black teacher? He's super funny. He's a comedian, and he's reading off all the students' names. And one of the name is D. You might want to spell this in your head while I say this, okay? And then what you get, how you would say this. DEV3IN. How would you say that name?
Devian. D-E, Devian?
DEV3IAN.
The vein.
Close.
Diphtherian?
Yeah, you would.
Diphthong.
I would
Like,
three as an
like
E,
instead of
right?
adding a TH in there, they added a 3 with the RE. Or the IAN. And he's
That's
doing
ridiculous.
it. It's so funny that the teacher, like, have you seen it, John? Because you're laughing. Or no, you haven't seen it. So
I thought it was the Key and Peele thing with the
Yeah.
teacher
no.
substitute.
This is like a new teacher, and he's like, were your parents drunk? And it's like every student is black, so he's going through them, and it's like the most. And then there's Keith, like Keith is in the back, and he's like, Keith, I got that. He's like, no, it's Kayeth. It's spelled Keith though. It's just
Hey, Ben.
really good. It's really good. All right, just let it go.
That is
You weren't a
BS.
racist.
That is complete
No, you don't have
BS.
to intend racism
No,
to
no, no.
accomplish
You are
it.
intending that I
Your
am
disrespect
racist,
of Kamala
and
Harris
that is
part and
offensive.
parcel of a
Why
tradition
can't you
which is
just-
disrespect.
It's offensive,
Congresswoman,
and it's
why can't you
it's
just?
offensive.
Why
and
can't
I'm
you
not
it's
calling you a
disgusting.
racist. I'm
No,
saying
you are.
what the
You
practice
are.
is
You
racist.
are. You absolutely
I'm
are.
saying the
And
practice
that
is
is
racist.
let me get
Disrespecting
into
no, what's disgusting
That
is your
disgusting.
disrespect of her.
Professor, she doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
White
I
women don't
became-
have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is to tell.
What blood?
Dude, no offense, but you look like a regular dude that just got a tan. You're barely black, but that's something else.
They're not real women.
25
They
years
care
ago,
for your babies.
25
Yeah, what about the Chinese? About the Chinese?
Well, I think I know what he's referring to. I think he's referring to Henrietta Lacks, the chick whose blood that we still use today. But
That's her organs, isn't it? It's her organs.
I don't recall.
Yeah,
but
think it's her liver
I
or
mean,
something.
he's not letting her speak any factual things. He is turning it into race only. But she's trying to bring the conversation to the problem, and he keeps it at the bottom level of race.
Sure.
That's
Don't
kind
you
of
think
standard
that's
lefty
interesting?
tactic, huh? Brie?
I didn't hear what Jordan said.
No, Matthew.
Go, Matthew.
Oh,
But that's kind of standard lefty tactics, right? They change the subject to feelings or color or race or
Bring it down
whatever,
to a
and
bare
then
level. Yeah, that's
yeah,
all right.
and then they drag everything down, and facts go out
Which
the
is
window.
weird because they are the party that goes for diversity and unity and all that stuff. Yet they introduce more and more labels into the society. It's weird.
yeah,
So
when they
more
don't have
division.
anything to say that's positive, they turn it into a race baiting thing.
No, of course.
Just hysteria and hyperbole there. There's much more of that lefty losing at madness, but I won't subject you to it because this next bit is even better. Remember Don Lemon before CNN sacked him?
Let's just be clear. Is it Don or is it Dom?
I thought it was Don Lemon.
I thought it was
Yeah,
Don
me
with
too.
an N as well. I did not think that there was an M. Is it Dominic?
No.
Dawn.
So it's Don?
Yeah.
But how did they get the Le Mans part? Is he French? There should be
Lemon.
It's
American, we
Lemon.
say lemon.
Yeah,
so
Don
it's
Lemon.
Don though. It's not Dom. She's saying it wrong.
Yeah, but when
could be her
Musk
accent.
addressed him,
No, I mean it's in the
Oh.
title. It's in the title. It says Dom Lemon. Dom Lemon's face.
Oh no, that's
I think it's
typo.
Don. Is it not?
It
I
is.
thought it was with an N.
I'm pretty sure it's an N.
And it's an N, not an M.
Okay. Okay, but she's saying.
But they pronounce it that way. Even Musk addressed him
Do you
as
think
Dom.
she's doing it? Yeah. I've heard Elon Musk call him Dom as well, not Don. So, is his name Dominic?
No.
Because Don is short and Dom is short for Dominic. Is it Dominic? Is that his full name? Don Lemon full name. Because it could be either.
Born Don Lemon.
Oh,
Yeah, that's his full
that's
name.
his full name is Don.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
See, on
All right.
Wikipedia says the name is Don with an N.
So in some language, it's probably D lemon. Like, if you translate it, probably that way.
At madness, but I won't subject you to it because this next bit is even better. Remember Don Lemon before
No, she
CNN
said
sacked
Don. She said Don. She said Don.
him? He's back doing vox pops
It's
and
just
being
typed wrong
laughed
in the
at by
title.
the good folk in Jersey and Atlantic City. First, he tries to shame Trump backers by suggesting they're sexist.
Who do you support? Trump. I plead the fifth. Trump for the win. Tell me why.
I can't really call that right now, but I just feel like she's not good for president. She's good vice, but not for the actual lead role for the country.
Does it have anything to do with being a woman?
No. No, because I feel like women, nah, you're not going to give me that.
Your money's on Harris.
Yeah.
Who do you want? Trump. Why don't you like Harris? Oh, she don't have any experience.
Wait, his money is... He's the same as me, this dude. That's the same dude. He said the same shit I said.
Your money's on Harris.
Yeah.
Who do you want?
Trump.
Why don't you like Harris?
Oh, she don't have any experience.
She's the vice president. She's a senator.
Yeah, no experience. No.
It doesn't get any better when Don talks.
I just want to point this out, though. That's what I say, is that I put my money on Harris, but I want Trump to win. Just put it out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody's got a comment about that? All right, we'll move.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Bree, we were here. The Johnny Rockets is right outside of Bally's. Where we go?
Well, I want Donald Trump. I just feel we need somebody that has a stronger background with the military and the world in general.
She was a prosecutor and an attorney general and a senator and a vice president.
Is he there to learn what voters think or to lecture them about why Harris is better? This next interaction is frankly bonkers.
4 years ago, it was a lot better. I made a lot more money than I do now.
I know you feel that way, but that's not actually what the record shows. The economy is actually better under Biden. No, I'm serious. That's what the facts show.
Okay, you know what?
No.
Imagine telling a grown man he's wrong about being better off 4 years ago because Don's figures say so. No wonder they laughed in his face. That sort of form will see Don Lemon elevated to the Lefty Losing It Hall of Fame. And here's one last clip from his time in New Jersey.
I see how much
Trump or Harris?
Trump.
That's who's going to win.
That's who's going to win.
Who you support?
I support Trump. All the people that came to this country legally, it's not fair that they're letting all 10,000 to 15,000 people or 20,000 people here illegally. Did you know Biden was flying them in? Did you know Biden was flying them in?
I got to get out of Atlantic City. Where are we going to next?
Now watch this totally authentic interaction between Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. They won't do any interviews, but they will provide content like this. Here, Tim worries that his white guy tacos, his words, not mine, he worries that his white guy tacos won't be spicy enough for Kamala.
Like I have white guy tacos and
what is
like
that?
black,
like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
I'm sorry. Did she say mayonnaise and tuna?
Huh.
How about we say how racist that is from her?
Yeah, right.
No, colored people can be racist.
Oh, no, yeah. Forgot about that.
I'm sorry. Did she say... I can't get past that. She said mayonnaise and tuna?
Tuna.
That's a sandwich. You're not going to have that on... You're not going to have that in a taco shell?
Oh,
okay.
That's okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal. No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota, you know.
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
I'm trying to expand my food knowledge.
Who cares?
What an achievement. Sucked at every other job you did, but I can grow my own spice peppers.
You know what? You can handle your spicy foods. We're going to give you the country. Go ahead. Run it.
Here is the real Kamala in the days before every word was carefully scripted. Now, I've heard her say some crazy things, but surely she would never snatch a patent.
I will snatch their patent so that we will take over. And yes, we can do that. Yes, we can do that. Yes, we can do that. It's the question is, do you have the will to do it? I have the will to do it.
I don't like that argument because I don't know what you're talking about. Patent of what? What?
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad cut. That's no good. That makes no sense. Apple does it all the time. They be stealing patents back. So that I don't get that.
She's got the will, people. Watch out. How very communist of her. Now, back to CNN, and yes, they are among the Democrats' most enthusiastic propaganda outlets. Here they are telling the American people to forget about the high prices, the illegal immigration crisis, crime. Just feel the joy. There's so much joy.
Brian, go ahead. I think Trump world's jealous of the joy right now. There's so much anger coming from Trump's speeches. Joy is real and it's important. People can make fun of it and say focus on the policy. But if you ask political scientists and psychology professors, they'll tell you the emotions matter in politics. Sometimes they matter a lot more than the policies. And that
He's not wrong.
What?
But he's not wrong. People follow Trump. People follow Trump because of his emotion. And they just use immigration as an argument because the... What do you mean?
To get votes, do you like to get him in office? Yeah, then you rile up the emotion. But at the end of the day, the policies is what matters for the next 4 years. People don't really look at them, but to get votes, yeah, the emotions matter. No?
Okay.
No? I'm asking.
No, I agree with the guy in the bottom right corner. I agree with him. I don't think I think all that matters is your emotion. I think people vote based off of their emotions.
Yeah, that's what
I think they vote. I think that's all they care about because that's all they care about Trump is how loud he is and how obnoxious he is. They don't give a shit about policy. He talks about immigration, but
I think the people that are proud of America are going to vote for Trump. And the people who feel ashamed for being white are going to vote for Kamala.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because
Go ahead.
Oh, because Trump is so pro-America. And meanwhile, Kamala doesn't like America. She doesn't like what we stand for. And I don't think that she would be a good president at all.
Yeah, but pro-America doesn't necessarily mean pro-white. I don't understand where that is coming from. Like, you guys are built on immigration, so it's a diversity from the get-go. So the choice of, I'm going to vote for the black lady, otherwise I'm a racist, I don't get that.
That is exactly what they are pushing here.
Well, that's the same narrative with Black Lives Matter, right?
Story this week.
Yes, Brian. If you ask political scientists and psychology professors, they'll tell you emotions matter. The Nazis knew that too. They love the joy message. Theirs was strength through joy. And their propaganda arms were just as enthusiastic about gaslighting the nation. And talking about gaslighting the nation, here...
See, that... Okay. I'm just going to let it play. Nobody, nothing. I'm gonna let that. That's ignorance. That's ignorance. You don't know. I'm not. Look, I just want to make it clear to the platforms I'm streaming to. I am not a neo-Nazi. I am not. I don't practice Nazism. It's funny because the left will say that that's Nazism, and then the right will say that's Nazism. You guys have no... Until you sit down with Hitler and figure out what his directives were, you don't know. You just going based off of some shit that's written down. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Stop talking about shit from 100 years ago. Let it go. It's over. Just like slavery. Let it go. It's done. It's done.
Always drag that back in.
Always. They're always going to bring in Nazism. Always. Why? What about Stalinism? What about that? I'm killing my own
He
generals.
killed more people than Hitler.
Yeah, times 5. So worry about that before you worry about Hitler.
Gaslighting the nation. And talking about gaslighting the nation, here is our own national broadcaster, the taxpayer-funded outlet that receives more than $1 billion of Australian taxpayer money every single year. And just watch and marvel at this completely fair, balanced and not at all hysterical rant from one of the ABC's highest paid journalists.
But Donald Trump poisoned American politics in a new way. He's clearly taken America to a dark place. Do you also hold him responsible for the dark place that he took your family to with the terrible attack on your husband in your home?
Yep, that was Sarah Ferguson last week interviewing former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. The Trump derangement syndrome remains off the charts of the ABC, and Ferguson and her overpaid, underworked team seem to have learnt nothing from their previous failures. Remember the 3-part series with...
Pause this real quick. What do you think the news that we have today? Take Trump out of office. Take Kamala Harris out of office. Put someone like Ron DeSantis in. What the fuck is the news going to talk about?
They'll find something. They'll find something.
On a perfect president or a damn perfect president? Really?
Yeah, they'll find something. I mean, I kind of wonder if these people take themselves seriously, or if it's they know they're full of crap and they're talking crap, but they kind of do it to save their job or be woke or be
Relevant.
inclusive.
We were treated to on the Trump-Russian collusion hoax. Yeah, they've learned nothing. We will have plenty more Lefties Losing It content with my next guest, including looking at the way a New York Times reporter helped dox hundreds of Jewish people right here in Melbourne.
What?
But first, though Kamala refuses to do an interview, she did, for just a minute, answer a question without the benefit of an auto cue, and it did not go well. Here she is asked about how she plans to pay for these policies she's announcing. See if you can work out the phrase her advisors have clearly drilled into her head.
In terms of the tax credits, we know that there's a great return on investment. And when we increase home ownership in America, what that means in terms of increasing the tax base, not to mention property tax base, what that does to fund schools, again, return on investment. I think it's a mistake for any person who talks about public policy to not critically evaluate how you measure the return on investment.
Return on investment. In the full clip, she said it 4 times.
I'm sorry.
She said nothing. She literally
No.
said nothing.
No.
She repeated the same thing twice or 3 times without actually saying anything.
That's why they call her like word jumble. Because
Word
she just
salad. I got
Yeah,
nothing.
word salad. She just talks.
I got nothing out of what you just said. Not a damn thing.
Could we go over this? Like return on investment by giving people houses.
Right.
What does that got to do with return of investment? The return of
I think
investment being the taxes?
Yeah, I
That's-
think she wants
but
to
we're
give
not
them the house
invested.
for free. And
Okay,
then they
but-
pay the taxes on it.
Okay, but they don't need a return of investment because they haven't invested anything. The government invested it by the taxpayers. That argument makes no sense at all.
Oh yeah, and
I
if
think
someone
her
already
brain-
owns that house, it is already being paid taxes on.
Mhm.
Like if
And I
Jay
think
owns
her
a second
mind
house
goes-
that he's trying to sell, he's paying taxes on it right now. Like
But Brie, only the amount of money they're willing to spend to give everybody the tens of thousands of dollars like this, like a present, so you can get a house yourself. The amount of money you're gonna spend with that, it's gonna take you a very, very, very long time to get that return on that investment.
Yeah, I think it's more the mindset of, oh, let's give everyone a house, and it's already poor people, so even if they don't have to pay for that housing, they're going to spend that little bit of money they do have on all junk, and you get taxes from that. So more
So,
than
but then if you're gonna give all those people, if you want equality, you're gonna give all those people what, 10, 20, 30, $40,000 for their house. You have to give everybody that amount of money. So that means you have to
No.
give Jay that amount of money because of his house.
No.
You have to give, if you want to be across the board, you have to be across the board. So everybody
No.
should get that amount of money.
Well,
Yep, and you
we
know what
have
that does?
here.
Increase inflation.
Yeah, we have that
Yeah,
here.
because that-
It's based on what you have. You have a basic income, yes or no. If you're within those brackets, then you're qualified to get that housing. It's going to be the same in the US.
But the problem is, in the US, people are entitled. They're going to be like, this house isn't big enough. It only has 2 bedrooms. I
Yeah.
need a 4-bedroom house for
Yeah.
free. Like,
Because-
they're going to be like that, guaranteed.
Because I've been busy breeding over the last 12 to 24 months. So I need a bigger a bigger house because I don't have all the bedrooms I need. And there's another one on the way.
Times in about 40 seconds. It's like a kid cramming for an exam. Just keep repeating it until it sinks in. Joining me now is Sky News host, the US Report, never miss that on Fridays, and also Sunday mornings on Outsiders. James Morrow, they hit Joe Biden in the basement for much of the last presidential campaign. They have a different tactic with Kamala, but it's arguably even...
Notice how we hear so little about Biden right now? Like, I don't hear a damn
Zero.
thing. Nothing, bro.
I think
It's
he
like he just
died.
died.
And he's still president, right?
Yeah, like you don't hear nothing. Not a wow, bro. Just radio silence, blackness. That's what you hear.
More underhanded.
Well, what have we been now? 3 weeks, I think it's been, since Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and the rest of the Democrat old guard knocked on the door of the Oval Office and said to Joe Biden, Joe, your time is up. And yet we have seen virtually nothing come out of the Harris campaign in terms of real media. And the clip you just played, Rita, is the reason why. I mean, this is the most shallow candidate I have ever seen approach the national stage here. She is all talking points. What she is underneath those talking points is some really, really hard left ideology. I mean, I was prepared to think that maybe she was, just drifting with the wind in California. No. She actually believes this stuff. We saw this with the lunatic price control stuff. We're seeing it with this. And, phrases like return on investment, well, that just gives her a lot of cover, because she can say, oh, no. Well, you see, we don't need to actually make the numbers stack up. It'll have some payoff down the road somewhere. And so, it's all a sham, Rita.
It is. Meanwhile, in Chicago, businesses near the Democrats' national convention venue are boarding up their shops to prevent damage from rioters, protesters, other violent lefties. The Democrats' convention begins tomorrow. Joe Biden is expected to speak on the first night. And these major protests are already underway in the city centre. Wow. We've got groups, pro-Palestinian groups, pro-abortion demonstrations. The left seems to have an extremist problem, James, that's been normalised for far too long. And sadly, some of those radicals aren't just in the streets, they're in the party.
Well, Rita, come on now, let's be fair. I mean, you remember how during the Republican National Committee they had to board up all the windows to make sure that rioting Republicans didn't go and smash the city apart, right? Oh, no, wait, sorry. That didn't happen.
That was a bad joke.
This is the thing, every time the Democrats get together, even if they're doing something that's supposed to be like, for their own side, they have this hugely destructive.
He could have delivered that way differently, right? The Republican ones, they didn't do that. They weren't scared of people. That was hurtful. That was cringy as shit.
Even he didn't believe in it.
Oh.
Streak. That's the only word that I can think of here. I mean, I remember being in New York for the 2020 election when Joe Biden beat Donald Trump. But, they were boarding up all the windows down Fifth Avenue, down Madison Avenue, down in Soho, because they were worried that if Trump won, there were going to be, the vanguard of the Democratic, tolerant, peaceful left were going to come out and show how they felt about this. And this continued through the Black Lives Matters riot in 2022 or in 2020. This is a long, long thing with the Democrats, with the left, arguably going back to the French Revolution, frankly, Rita.
Well, yeah, let's not have a history lesson right now. But you're so right. I was there in New York in 2020, and I was shocked by how many shops, buildings were boarded up. They'd learned from experience, and as soon as Joe Biden was declared the winner, it came down. Those protections
the boards came down
because they weren't worried about the left rioting any longer. Now let's have a look at this video from a frustrated voter. They took to TikTok to blast the Biden-Harris administration for failing to prioritise hard-working Americans over illegal immigrants.
But I need my president to tell me why I worked so hard all these years, all these decades. Couldn't get a business loan, but I bust my to get the money to create my business. And we got immigrants coming here. And they're getting money. Money! We're doing nothing but just being here. It's not right, and I want answers.
James, there are many clips like this on social media, on different platforms.
Oh, good point, no?
Yeah.
Very good point.
And even though she's a minority and a female, she's complaining about the inequality amongst immigrants versus Americans.
The problem is she's a little bit more right-leaning, so she won't make it to the news, and she's working, so she's definitely not left-leaning.
I thought people were happier and better off financially if you go off of the previous things the left.
Don Lemon.
Yeah, I mean,
well, the economy is better than it's ever been under
Oh.
Biden.
And often they're heart-wrenching.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, her sentiment is not unique, unfortunately. This is what we see in the last 3 or 4 years. We've seen something on the order of 10 million illegal aliens come into the country. We know that there are only the most cursory checks on the ones that actually do encounter border guards, with the mass killers and all sorts of other people who have been revealed to have been let into the country. And it's shocking, too, because we know that the U.S. is now spending, I've seen one statistic that says as much as $450 billion on all the housing and clothing and everything else for these groups. And people, who are working hard are trying to meet the rent, trying to, as this woman is, start a business, make it, do the American thing, do things right. Look at this, and they're rightly furious. And I think this is where the Democrats have a huge problem. They used to be the party that would represent people like that woman, and now they've just abandoned her.
They have, and if she doesn't vote for them, they say she's not really black. So that's pretty much what they think of segments of the voter base.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about this New York Times reporter. This story is astonishing. New York Times reporter was behind the leak of a WhatsApp group of Jewish creatives, which led to its members being doxxed, harassed, in some cases threatened by pro-Palestinian activists in Australia. Now, Natasha Frost, a New York Times reporter based in Melbourne, downloaded and shared 900 pages of content from the chat that was launched by Jewish professionals in the wake of the October 7 attacks, sharing them with a pro-Palestinian...
Wait, what happened October 7th? Anybody? What happened October 7th?
I don't know.
Okay.
Individual she was writing a puff piece about. Now, Frost insists, she had nothing to do with the ugliness that followed. James, I spoke to some of the victims of this doxing. Some of them had to close or move their businesses. Some moved from their home. What action has the New York Times taken against this so-called journalist?
Well, it'll surprise you to learn, Rita, virtually nothing. They said that they've taken appropriate action against the journalist, but we don't know what that means. I mean, is there a note in her file? Does she not get an invite to the Christmas party this year? Who knows? But the crazy thing is, too, that the reporter herself put out a statement, Rita, where she said, I really regret that this happened. This has put me in danger. Like, hello, you put all these hundreds of other people in danger, and you're the victim here? This seems to breach an awful lot of journalistic ethics, too. It's one thing to get, the WhatsApp group. That's the sort of thing that people might report on. But then to share it with a subject who is likely...
She blinks a lot. Oh, girl. I'm sorry. I am like zoned out of what he's saying and thinking about what it would be like laying next to her in bed.
She's probably feeling the same way you are. She's like, how many times can I blink to let him know to shut up?
I don't know. That little face right there, that's like almost like it's too hard to swallow. I'm sorry.
Not going to have positive intentions with that. That's just really beyond the pale. It's absolutely shocking. As you say, some of the cases, people have actually, as you say, had their businesses had to close, and they've had to move.
You know what it is with me, man? It's the pantsuits, bro. It's the pantsuits, like where you got no buttons or nothing. It's just underneath that is just a bra. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, I know that you don't have an undershirt on. You probably just got a bra and panties. That's what I see.
Or not even a bra. Those studio lights are hot.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just...
Now I'm invested.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. You...
Children have been under threat. And again, it just goes to show how crazy it is, Rita. We've gone from, in 8 years, hey, it's okay to punch a Nazi, to, hey, it's okay to dox a Jew.
Nazi.
The very same group. By the way, the very same people.
Exactly, the same people.
Promoting...
It's one of Kamala Harris's Venn diagrams.
Don't start with Kamala and her Venn diagrams. Goodness me. Now, Jeff Blahar made this point on this scandal on X, and I think he speaks for many. He said, you either forward 900 pages of private conversations to an anti-Israeli activist, you're writing a praiseworthy piece. Out of intent, this was released a new...
Atentando contra su...
Yeah, this is simple sort of good sense, or it used to be simple good sense.
Schools, it's almost the polar opposite, James.
It's
Children's Day.
Nuestro propósito es que todos los niños crezcan en un ambiente sano y seguro, lejos de quienes promueven la ideología de género, atentando contra su integridad.
Very interesting. That's not the sort of messaging we get in our schools. It's almost the polar opposite, James.
I'm just shocked by that. It's like, where do we all get online to go to Argentina? This is simple sort of good sense, or it used to be simple good sense, but now it seems like, Argentina is leading the way on this stuff. And I just note, to bring it back around to the Democrat National Convention, which we spoke about at the start of the segment, compare and contrast this here in Argentina and, their reverence for children and the family with the fact that the Democrat convention is proudly going to have outside a big old truck where you can sign up to get a vasectomy or an abortion, which is like, tells you everything you need to know about where these two sides of politics are. No wonder.
What? Hold on. What's wrong with having a truck outside to go get a vasectomy?
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't. What's the problem with that? Are they saying that a vasectomy and an abortion is the same thing?
No, it's not.
Well, then why are they putting those two in the same block then?
Yeah, that's a weird market.
It's both kind of population control, no?
Wow. One is a preventative measure. The other one is an execution measure, right? I mean, they're a little bit different. I don't know if I would put those two in the same block. A vasectomy and an abortion? I think it's pretty cool that there's a truck on right. You go get a vasectomy for $10. Why not? You
don't go in the wrong one.
No, it's not that they would mess it up. It's just, is that still the same knife? Like, from all the people want to feel like, is this a sterile environment? That's what I want to know. Like, is it clean?
You know how many vasectomies you can give with potato peeler? Huh.
Of course, the left absolutely hates Millet because he's talking about, family and children and all of these things, which to them, they want to break down because they don't like the family. Families are like, cells of resistance against the state and their ideology. They can't stand it.
Absolutely, and they predicted all sorts of doom.
Okay, I was reading the story wrong. The Argentine school doesn't want to push gender things. That's what they were saying, harmful gender.
Yeah.
So they're saying male and female, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to do vasectomies and abortions, which is right wing on the side of the street. Okay, that's cool. I'm with that. But then again, I'm more right leaning than I am left, so I guess that makes sense.
And gloom if he was elected. And everything thus far seems to be going particularly well in Argentina. He's really done what Trump, I guess, intended to do in his first term. He has just stripped the bureaucracy. He has gone through ACT's departments and is really having an incredible impact on the country in a very short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, and you look, not just the acting of departments, but you look at actual things like, inflation, the performance of the economy,
Why does
just
it sound
going
like
gangbusters.
He's either sick or he's got phlegm in the back of his throat. Anybody get that?
I think he's had a stroke.
Kind of nasally.
All right, we'll get out of that because that's the end of that. Okay, so
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like she likes him.
No, I think she just has to have him on the panel. He's part of
Like
the panel.
if Jay had told a joke and we all just went, it wouldn't feel the same,
Right.
Like, it's so weird. But speaking of kids, So they asked, like, they did like a news article about children, and they said that millennials these days are not having children because they would rather buy coffee, have nice cars, nice houses, and all this other stuff. So millennials actually came to like TikTok and stuff, filming their own videos, and it's like, no, I don't want to bring a kid up in a country where we let them decide if they're a boy or a girl, or where they get handouts if you're a different race. Like, they said that the world is too messed up to bring new children into it, that they don't want to. And what that made me think of is that means that we are ruining the next generation because there won't be any right-leaning children. They'll all be left because the right people are like, we can't bring up a baby. But if we don't, then everything is going to be pushed so far left. There won't be any parents telling their children everything that you hear is not truth, you know? So I think that that's interesting.
I think it's more interesting that for the longest time, there was no real decline in new births. Now it is. And even during world wars, it was never really an issue.
It was booming, World Wars. Yeah, it was.
So what does that tell you? There was bombs going off everywhere. Let's get some.
That tells me that people are more concerned about themselves, though, than they are about creating a family.
That's what the news story was trying to say. But what the kids, or like the people in their 20s and 30s, were saying was that it's the environment that we're currently in that they don't want to introduce new children to, because it's not the world that they grew up in. It is some twisted mess where right is wrong and wrong is right.
You know, although it's not funny, I kind of have to agree with the fact that he said that having a strong household is not in the best interest of leftist government. They don't want you to have a strong base. They want you to be dependent on them. They want you to listen to them.
I think that's every government, no? And that's the purpose of a dictatorship.
Yeah. But that works out fine now for them, right? With current society. It's like, okay, good job. Keep it up.
I think if you get... Oh, this would be rough. If you made it where anybody that received a grant by the government cannot vote, because that's going to be a biased vote, right?
Yeah.
Biased. So make it where anybody that receives tax breaks or grants or any kind of benefits from the government can't vote.
Ooh.
That's
Any
rich
kind?
people, that's poor people, that's people that are just, those are the people that should be able to vote, because there's no bias.
But then you have a bunch
of what you think they're going to do for the country. Have like
but then
20
you're
people
going to
vote.
have a bunch of illegal people or people that get nothing that want to vote to get something, right?
Well, you can't. I don't know where people keep saying that illegals are voting. You can't vote federally if you are not a natural born citizen. Like if you're not, or you're not a citizen. If you're just a legal,
Can't they do it in Jersey though?
That's for the governor. That's not for the president. You understand? Like, you can't go vote for a president if you're not a citizen of the country. I don't know where they're getting this from.
But I thought that was a really big story during the last election because all the illegals voting in New York City.
If you look up, can you vote for a president not being a citizen? The answer is no. So I don't know where people keep pulling this from.
You don't have to show ID anymore, right? Because that's racist or something?
Right, correct. But you have to still say your name and your date of birth and where you're from and all that shit.
So can I say I'm Edward Scissorhands? I was born in 1962?
Well, a couple of problems. You know, they're going to realize you're not a man, right? Unless you're...
They can't question my sex?
That's true. But you don't have scissors for hands. So, and how are you going to hold a pencil?
Ad hominem?
Gaslighting? Okay, don't put your single on me. Don't.
That last name has been in the family for a long time.
Hundreds of years, okay? It's not my fault. Yes. I'm my great uncle and my great-great-grandfather wore scissors for hands. Things have changed. We've progressed.
Robert and Edna scissors hands. Yep.
Yeah, I just people say that all the time about illegals voting. Yes, for governor, for mayor, yes, but not for a president. Where do you get this from? By what? The polls? Okay. All right.
But it's still weird that they can, right? Even locally? Like for state? I know it doesn't matter that much.
You know, what are you going to do? Cry about it?
No,
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Move to a state that you like, Florida, where you can run people over. You can always leave. If you don't like something, you can leave it. You don't like America? Yeah. Go, leave. Get the fuck out. You don't like New York? Leave. Why are we talking about it? Do something about it. We can sit here and complain a million things about why we don't like it, but we do nothing to change it. Don't give me a problem without giving me a solution. Don't tell me how I got this, and this. I don't know what to do. Okay, have we brainstormed? Have we thought about what we can do? No, we have not. I need your help. I'm not going to help you. Because if you don't have time to figure out the solution to your problem, then I don't have time to fix it.
Digital ID card? That's
we have
we
those,
do for voting.
I don't even know if that's true. I don't even, like what Bree said and what Tony said about not showing proof. I don't even know if that's true. That's just off of some shit. Do you have to show ID to vote for president? I don't know.
And then also take into account, let's say it's 1 or 2%.
It's under voter ID requirements. Your state laws determine whether you will need to show an ID, and if so, what kind. Your state may require you to show a photo ID like a driver's license, state ID, or passport. Or they may ask to see another form of identification like your voter registration card, birth certificate, or social security card. You can, however, not just walk up and say your name.
So is that why Jersey gave out licenses to the immigrants?
Probably. Yes, probably.
Oh, that's interesting. We gave them like kind of an ID, but not really an ID. Like, but that makes sense then if they needed it to vote.
Yeah, you can't just walk up and say, I'm Bree Gearfeed to vote. No, you're not. Let me see your ID. Especially in Florida, that's not going to work. I need to see your ID.
Yeah.
You don't want to show it, then you're not going to vote. That's all.
So it is dependent on the state then.
Speaking of like the different states and the economy thing, someone posted in our local Facebook group, like, how do you guys afford stuff? Because I have X amount of kids, I have my husband, all this other stuff. So that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is the comments. Someone said, vote blue. You're in this mess because you chose to vote red before. I'm sorry, but our current president is blue, number one. Number two, they said that taxes are lower in California, which is not true. And then that it's cheaper to live in California, which is not true. And then they were like, then why don't you live there? They said, I do. Florida is my vacation home. And they were like, then why do you even come to Florida if you hate it so much? And then the conversation just went all crazy into political battles. It's like people are so stupid and stuck on a single idea that they ignore all other ideas that happen on their side.
That's right. And that's with both extremes, though. That's extreme right, that's extreme left. Yeah. Both of them. They're right. Everything else is wrong. It's over.
But why even use that as a selling point to people like, oh, no, economy is doing better, you can buy more, and you're better off than before. People themselves know, right? I mean, if you, that's like with the Don guy, you're telling somebody they're better off. He knows the end of the month, I have this left in my checking account, and I used to have this amount left, or I have nothing left, and I used to have this amount left. Why even use that as an argument? It's so stupid.
That's not even opinion based, like you said.
No.
You do.
You're wrong.
I would have just pulled up my statements, end of year statement. There you go. This is under Trump. This is under Biden. You tell me which one is more money. I don't care about the rest of the economy. I care about me.
Yeah.
Right? If it's affecting my bottom line, I don't give a shit what your numbers say.
Nope. Well, at the end of the day, you're the one that needs the money for food and housing and water and electricity. It's not your neighbor. It's not your, and that's too bad. But if yours goes down,
end of the day, Bree? Is that what it was?
You said at the end of the day, Matthew, you're getting that from Combat because he constantly says that.
No,
Damn.
that's Spade.
No, I know, but Combat picked up on it too. I hear him say it in the chat all the time.
At the end
in
of
the
the
vocals? Yes! We gotta nip that in the bud.
That's right. Let me get a do re mi.
Do re mi.
What's the rest? Hit it. So,
You want the song part?
Yes.
Oh. So do la fa mi do re. So do la ti do